Have you ever wondered what would happen if the Earth started rotating in the opposite direction? Right now, our planet spins like a top, eastwards, or from west to east. It's a cosmic dance that's been going on for more than 4.5 billion years, ever since the Earth was formed. This rotation, combined with the tilt of the Earth's axis, is responsible for some of the most fundamental aspects of our lives. The first is the cycle of day and night. As the Earth spins on its axis, different parts of the world are exposed to the sun's light, creating the familiar pattern of sunrise and sunset. Without this rotation, half of the planet would be in permanent daylight, and the other half in endless night. Then, there are the changing seasons. The Earth's axis is tilted at an angle of about 23.5 degrees relative to its orbit around the sun. As the Earth travels along its orbit, this tilt causes the sun's rays to hit different parts of the Earth more directly during different times of the year. Hence, we have summer when the sun's rays are most direct, and winter when they are least direct. And let's not forget about the Earth's climate. The rotation of the Earth affects the movement of air and water, creating wind and ocean currents. These currents distribute heat around the planet, helping to regulate our climate and make Earth a livable place. But here's a fun fact: the Earth's rotation is gradually slowing down. That's right, our days are actually getting longer, but by such a small amount that you wouldn't notice. This slowing down is due to the gravitational pull of the moon, which creates a kind of friction that acts as a brake on the Earth's rotation. Now imagine if all of that were to suddenly change. To understand the impacts of a potential reversal, we need to delve into the science behind Earth's rotation. Our planet's rotation is no random event, but the result of a complex interplay of forces. Two of the most influential of these forces are angular momentum and inertia. Angular momentum, a product of our planet's mass and spin, is essentially the Earth's desire to keep doing what it's doing spinning. As for inertia, it's the resistance to changes in motion. So in the case of Earth, it's the resistance to any change in the planet's rotation. Now, the Earth's rotation isn't just about spinning on an axis, it's also responsible for the planet's shape. Contrary to common belief, Earth isn't a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid, meaning it's slightly flattened at the poles and slightly bulging at the equator. This is due to centrifugal force, another result of the Earth's rotation, which pushes matter away from the axis of rotation. Our planet's rotation doesn't stop impacting there. It also influences the movement of ocean currents and wind patterns, a phenomenon known as the Coriolis effect. In the northern hemisphere, this causes winds and currents to veer to the right of their direction of travel, while in the southern hemisphere they veer to the left. This effect is responsible for the clockwise rotation of weather systems in the northern hemisphere and the counterclockwise rotation in the southern hemisphere. The Earth's rotation also determines the speed of our day-night cycle, which has a profound impact on all life forms and their biological rhythms. It also influences the planet's magnetic field, which is crucial for protecting us from harmful solar radiation. With all these factors in play, a change in rotation would certainly have dramatic consequences. And that's what we'll explore in the next part of our journey, so stay tuned. So, what would happen if the Earth started rotating in the opposite direction? Now that's a question that's bound to stir up some interesting discussions. Firstly, we'd notice a reversal in the direction of sunrise and sunset. We're all accustomed to the sun rising in the east and setting in the west. If the Earth were to spin in the opposite direction, this would be reversed. The sun would rise in the west and set in the east, a sight that would certainly take some getting used to. Next, let's consider the length of our day. Currently, the Earth takes approximately 24 hours to complete one rotation. If the Earth started spinning in the opposite direction, it's hypothesized that the length of a day could change. Some scientists suggest that a day could become as long as 33 hours. Imagine that, an extra 9 hours in your day. Now here's where things get a little unsettling. A sudden change in Earth's rotation would cause an immense shift in momentum. Our planet is enormous, and it carries a significant amount of angular momentum as it spins. If it suddenly started spinning in the opposite direction, this momentum would need to go somewhere. And that could lead to some serious geological disturbances. We're talking earthquakes, tsunamis, and possibly even shifts in tectonic plates. These natural disasters would be on a scale that we've never experienced before. The immediate consequences of the Earth spinning in the opposite direction could be catastrophic. But hold on to your seats, because this ride isn't over yet. These are just the immediate effects. As dramatic as they are, they could be just the tip of the iceberg. When we start to consider the long-term effects of such a drastic change in Earth's rotation, things could get even more catastrophic. But the long-term effects could be even more catastrophic. Over time, a reversed rotation could completely reshape our world. The long-term consequences of such a dramatic shift are almost beyond comprehension. Yet, let's delve into this fascinating hypothetical. Firstly, our planet's climate and weather patterns would undergo drastic changes. Right now, the Earth rotates from west to east, creating predictable wind patterns and ocean currents that shape our climate. But if the Earth were to spin in the opposite direction, these patterns would be thrown into disarray. We could expect a complete transformation of our world's climate zones, with deserts potentially becoming lush green landscapes and vice versa. The reorientation of ocean currents would also have profound implications. Our oceans act as a global conveyor belt, transporting warm water from the equator to the poles and cold water in the opposite direction. This process greatly influences our climate. In a reversed rotation scenario, ocean currents would change their course, leading to dramatic shifts in temperature and precipitation patterns. Coastal cities could find themselves grappling with entirely new weather conditions. But perhaps the most sobering potential consequence is the prospect of mass extinctions. Rapid environmental changes are a key driver of extinction events, and the dramatic shifts caused by a rotational reversal would certainly qualify. Many species, both on land and in the sea, have evolved to thrive in specific environmental conditions. A sudden change in these conditions could push many species beyond their limits of adaptability. Furthermore, humans would not be immune to these changes. Our societies, economies, and cultures are deeply intertwined with our environment. A drastic shift in climatic conditions would test our resilience and adaptability to the utmost. Our agricultural practices, for instance, are finely tuned to our current climate. A sudden shift could lead to widespread crop failures, creating a potential food crisis. In short, life as we know it would be irrevocably altered. The long-term consequences of a rotational reversal would indeed be profound, reshaping our world in ways we can only begin to imagine. While a change in Earth's rotation is purely hypothetical, it's a fascinating thought experiment. It challenges us to think about the fundamental aspects of our world that we often take for granted. As we've explored throughout this video, the Earth's rotation is not just a simple spinning of a globe, it's a complex dance, choreographed by the laws of physics and the forces of nature. It influences everything from our weather systems to the very cycle of day and night that dictates our lives. The hypothetical reversal of this rotation, though a fascinating concept, would bring about profound and far-reaching consequences. It would disrupt the established weather patterns, altering the climate drastically. The days and nights as we know them would change, with the sun rising in the west and setting in the east. It would even affect the shape of the Earth itself, causing it to bulge more at the equator. But perhaps the most important point to take away from this thought experiment is the delicate balance that makes life on Earth possible. Our planet's rotation, its orbit around the sun, the tilt of its axis, all these factors work together in a finely tuned system. A change in any one aspect could have dramatic implications for life as we know it. However, before you start worrying about the sun rising from the wrong direction, it's crucial to remember that such a dramatic shift in Earth's rotation is highly unlikely. The laws of physics as we currently understand them dictate that the Earth will continue to rotate in the same direction at the same speed for billions of years to come. So, while we can ponder the possibilities, rest assured, for now the Earth keeps spinning just as it should.